I am here. I am here.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Yay. I got the white one.
It's all good. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
I
Let
got
me
my call early too. So
say that again.
I said I got off the call early. So
Okay.
better for you.
I need to do two things on here just to make sure I figured out the whole connect to Facebook. We can't connect to Facebook and YouTube both live at the same time unless I add a third party app. So we'll do that for the next one. We'll go live on Facebook for this one and just drop the video on YouTube.
Okay.
We'll
So
upload it.
we're gonna have to edit now because we're talking through this recording.
Say
Unless we
that again.
stop. I said unless we stop the recording and start when we're ready.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome to the HBCU by Association. This is our first webinar of many. We'll have a number of these throughout the year. Uh, Today's webinar is about, well, let me kind of tell you who I am before I just jump right into it. My name is Omar Muhammad. I'm an HBCU alum. And my co-founders, as you see here, we have Ebony, depending on how you see it, and then we have Sil there as well, HBCU alum and HBCU supporter. Happy to be here with you. We really want to make sure we're setting the tone this year for HBCU alum entrepreneurs. So today's workshop is all about building from the basics. We have a dynamic workshop for you. And then we're going to go into what is this thing that we're calling HBCU by association. So don't leave. We got a special gift for you. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and just hop right into what it is. But hold on, let's do this. We can't just jump right into it. Let's talk about who we are, right? So let's start with you, Sil, and then we'll go with Ebony. What's your 30-second commercial, if you will?
Oh, wow. 30-second commercial. Let's go. Right. So first, most importantly, I am a product of HBCU from the Virginia State University with a degree in information systems and decision sciences. Sounds pretty? Yeah, not really. No, just playing. Worked many years in corporate America. Always felt like I needed that no one really could hold everything that I presented, right? Always kind of felt not fully used to my full capabilities or anything like that. But I took everything along the way, right? I learned every lesson along the corporate trail and then jumped into entrepreneurship about 15 years ago. Have a wide variety of businesses that I've been involved in, co-founder of ENS Consulting and Management. I am the founder and CEO of Still Higgins Fitness and More, and now here with you guys at HBCU by Association. So real quick, love business. I love health and wellness as well. Those are my two passions. They come together here with HBCU by Association, in my love for reaching back and making sure the students of HBCUs and the entrepreneurs of HBCUs understand the relationship and responsibility that we have to each other to cultivate and grow. Is that my 30 seconds?
I think that was a minute and 30.
You took all minute.
My bad.
It's all good. Ebony.
Okay, so I'll jump in. I'll try to stay at 30. Ebony Gaynor, co-founder of HBCU by Association. Very happy to be a part of this dynamic trio and very excited to see where we are going to go with one another, but also with all the HBCU alumni and entrepreneurs. My background in corporate America varies around the wireless industry, aviation, and banking. I am the CEO of Virtually Perfected, which is actually just turned 15 years old, January 1. And I am co-founder and CEO of E&S Consulting and Management with SIL. I was going to give you a whole name, with SIL. I am an HBCU supporter, especially in the area of tuition, where my daughter is a student at the Spelman College, which fed my passion for being a part of HBCU by association. Looking forward to working with you guys and helping you grow in your businesses. And I think I did 35 seconds.
Wait, so how much did I do actually? I went like 36. Is that what?
A minute and 36. All right, so I'm gonna go real quick. Omar Mohammed, born and raised in Baltimore, the Morgan State University, Mr. Entrepreneur, number of entrepreneurial ventures. This is the latest one with these beautiful women here. And man, we're looking forward to working with you to make sure that we help you find the best in you. And with that said, we're going to just jump right into it now. You got an introduction of who we are. All of us are entrepreneurs. We believe in HBCUs. And now we're ready to share with you some of the nuggets that we have that we learned over the years. So we'll turn it over to you, Phil. And if you tuned in, drop what HBCU you went to so that we are aware of the school that you're supporting. Phil?
Are you saying me? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time here. I'm kicking it off.
You're gonna kick it off with a shout out for our lovely shirts.
Yes. Okay. So
I will share our screen to start with understanding you and your business.
Absolutely. So we'd like to give a shout out to Expressively Tees for flying last minute these shirts to us with our logos on them. She is located in North Carolina, but can ship anything to you within a day or so if you get it to her. She is an entrepreneur. Got into the business because of health reasons. She needed to do something at home in her spare time. And she has launched this very, very creative, comes up with amazing designs on her own. She is an artist in her true form. We just give her a shout out real quick. We thank you for turning that around real quick for us.
Absolutely. Great
Yes.
job.
Yes. So when you go into the basics of, entrepreneurship, or people ask all the time, what kind of business or should I do, or I want to do a business, but I'm not sure how to start it. And so my first question is always, well, do you just want, to run something to have a structure and maybe put some money in and then have a turnaround? Or do you know that there's something in you that you need to put forth into the world, into the atmosphere that only you can provide and that you can do, right? And so that question typically allows the person to really think of what they would put into their business, or how far are they willing to go, and what it is they're really passionate about in order to be successful in what they need for themselves, right? And so understanding that will then allow you to start to navigate through or plan out what it is you need to do now so that you can get to where you want to go in the future. I think Ebony is pulling up some of that information right now. So sometimes it can be a market that you're into. Say your dad's been a plumber all your life and you've been into plumbing. So maybe you want a plumbing business where that service is already there that you just need to know about. Or like for me, I never knew what I was passionate about. I knew business, right? But I didn't know how far I wanted to go for something in business. So the key is first decide what it is that you want to do and what you're really willing to put in that you'll be able to take it all the way. You guys agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, we're doing some behind the scenes work. We
Bear
got you.
with us.
Yes, little technical difficulties, but it's okay. So becoming an entrepreneur is not easy, right? And the reason why I say that you have to start with those types of questions is because it's going to take everything in you to get it out, right? And so if you're not passionate about it, you're not willing to work and to go all the way. So that part is why we start with your why, essentially. Why are you getting into this? At that point, you can then, like I said, start mapping everything out. And so how does your personal interest overlap with any business idea? Maybe you love your soft skin and your shea butters and you make your own concoctions of things. But maybe you say, oh, that's just a hobby. Most of the time, the things that you like and the things that fit you most or that you're passionate about is the very thing that you probably need to be doing in business, right? And then, like I said, sometimes people simply say, I have a certain amount of income and I want to invest, and I can have someone run this so I can yield a return and go on about my business. So all of that, or those things, are the first steps and the basis of business, right? All of those things collectively. Sometimes that can take years to get to. Sometimes it's right there and it's always been. But for me, it was fitness. I knew that that's what got me into the business world on my own, right? I knew I was passionate about it, and I knew the trainers, I could out-train them in a way, right? And so, this is born, I don't have that much personality or something. So I felt some kind of way. Years later, I ended up in the business. I didn't know that, but I followed my path. So I think after that, then you can start scoping out the rest.
Awesome. Okay. I believe you jumped on that. So we spoke on that. So we're gonna move ahead.
No problem.
Did we speak on having some sort of experience?
Right. So experience, identifying your experience, right? So again, when I got into the business of fitness, I was in the process of losing, I think at that point I had lost my first 100 pounds, right? I was 350. And so I got down to about 250. And when people started saying, yeah, she's going into training, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I have a business degree and all I know is corporate. How do I make this transition? And so I had to start with saying, okay, I need education in this field. I need hands-on, I need certifications, I need experience. And so I was able to say, okay, then let me go find a school that's the best, that I can learn everything, learn my trade, perfect my craft, right? And get the experience. So I did that. It took a couple years, all in all, but I did that education. I saw where that needed to be. And I ran with it. I dove everything into anything I read had to be fitness and health related. Everything I did, I explored different things in fitness that I normally hadn't done. I did trapeze yoga, hanging upside down and stuff, right? I mean, that people thought oh my gosh, she's doing that, but it let me explore the different avenues in fitness, right? And it allowed me to be able to speak on these different things, right? So I had the education, the work experience, because my passion did lead me to that. And so now I can look back and see all these years of experience that I have. Sometimes I'm not even aware of how much I have collected over the years with that, right? And so then I understood how every job, right, I had before that had something to do with customer service. And so then I was able to then key in that or plug that into the fitness and understand how I wanted my fitness business to be different from others on that customer service side, right? And so again, all that was not gonna say easy, but it was a line to path because it did check my whys. It checked and had everything to do with why I wanted to even go into the business. So in a sense, it was cohesive for that part.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, Sil.
Yeah, sure.
So next we'll talk about your 2022, which is now, versus your 2032, 10 years from now. Okay, so 10-year goals, a decade is a long time. We all know that. Everyone knows that things can change drastically over a 10-year period. If I think back 10 years from now, which I promise I can't. I don't even know where I was 10 years ago. And in saying that, what I want to know and what I want to do going forward is over the next 10 years, know where I'm going, what steps I need to take, how I need to take those steps, and what I expect my outcome to be from taking such steps. And that includes not just your business, it includes your personal life, it includes your health and wellness life, it includes your career and or business. They all tie in together. So in doing that, the way in which you can do that is to put together a 10-year goal worksheet of mastery. Because when you connect your personal and your professional and your fitness, because people don't realize that fitness plays a very crucial part in what you do outside of business or inside of business and your person, they all come together. If you are exhausted, you are not going to be able to obtain those professional goals that you've set for yourself because your mind isn't fully functioning, allowing you to do so. You also want to have some financial goals. So a 10-year goal worksheet, such as the one that we have here, allows you to write down your 10-year goals in the following categories: personal goals, professional goals, fitness goals, financial goals, and list areas of dedicated practice and learning to obtain those goals.
Right.
And then in doing that, you're going to take into account and create a modified 10-year plan.
Mhm.
So looking out 10 years can be a little daunting at first, but talking with others, getting counseling, and working with a mentor can definitely help. Goal setting allows you to let your why for your business and your why for your life merge and create room for one another.
Absolutely.
Ebony, if I could just jump in real quick, just
Absolutely.
think about, as part of your business plan and part of this mastery plan is adding in mental health days. When you just don't do anything for a couple of days, because we can run like crazy, and it will really play with our mental and in our health and in our business. So as you develop this, think about some mental health days as well, at least two days. And don't do nothing,
Yes.
Omar.
Right. Are we preaching to the choir here?
No. And so the funny thing is, though, a part of each one of these in forming this, right? Because this didn't just come out of anywhere, meaning that this is something that Ebony and I have both practiced for a while, right? And so in each one, though, there is an area for rest, right? And so if your fitness, whatever your fitness goal is, right? You may work out 5 days a week or 6, you still need that rest day or 2, right? Financially, you can work, but you pay yourself first and then smash off the bills, right? In some way. So in every category, there should be rest in a way, right? Because that's the balance of it. And then that's what allows growth. Even from a fitness aspect, when you're in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, you're actually tearing the body down. On that rest day or days is when the body actually grows, right? And so essentially each one, yes, should have about a 10 to 20% rest time or for you time in each category.
In each category.
In
your
each
personal,
category.
professional, in your fitness, even in your financial, leave the card in the house. Like, no, just every area.
Every area.
Yes.
In the personal as well, what that looks like is not beating yourself up for, not completing something, not, having so much pressure on yourself, allowing yourself a day to say, kind of F everything. I just need my own space. And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Always end it with, and that's okay.
And that's okay. Yes.
Okay. So we know we moved kind of quickly through the understanding your why and the 2022 versus 2032, but that was because we absolutely wanted to put some effort and emphasis on the 7 basics of starting a business. So I will start and my illustrious co-founders will join in where they see fit. Before starting any business, it is definitely necessary to make certain decisions to take some basic steps, including choosing your name, your structure, your location of your business. These things are all equally important, including registering your company and hiring an accountant, people, hiring an accountant. Okay, business implementation is number one of the 7 steps. In business implementation, you need to decide on a name. Choosing a name is harder than it seems.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, still has a story on that one. But let me say this first. You'll want a name to stand out and reflect your image. Names that are similar to competitors will not help you stand out, and they could result in lawsuits. Hello. If you're having difficulty coming up with a name, consider hiring a naming firm for assistance. Some tips to naming are consider wordplay, but avoid cheesy puns, stick to basics, and you shouldn't have to explain the name. You should not have to explain the name. The name should explain itself. Consider your name as a domain. It should be short and easy to recall.
Yes. Yes, that's part of my problem.
What is the name of your fitness business?
So yeah, just to shed some light on the background laughter. My business, or the fitness, is Sil Higgins Fitness and More, right? And every time I'm giving or typing my email address or anything, I am cursing my assistant and people involved out, because I'm like, how did they allow me to use such a long right tagline or email address? And this is like, it's just too much, right? So I do have that problem there, but there is some rebranding coming with that business, and I have an idea we'll speak about later, so stay tuned.
And on scaling your business, glad you said that, because it is okay to change, people. You do not, if it's not working, change it. It's okay.
And not only that, it's not because here's the thing: you are your product, you are your business, and so you essentially are always under construction. So you are always typically a prototype until you get to a certain level. So it's not like, oh, you just scratch the board and go back to the drawing board. It is the elevation or the evolving of you and your business, both together, you and your business. That's how it comes together. So it is more than okay.
Yes, it's almost required.
It's a part of the journey.
It is required. Yes.
It is a part of the journey. Absolutely.
Okay. Before taking any action, you must determine the legal structure of the business. The legal structures are for any type of company that you want, and each one has its benefits and drawbacks. Choosing the correct structure will require you to understand what you expect from your company. There are several different types of legal structures, but we'll just speak of the 3 most popular here today, and that is sole proprietorship. The simplest business to create also has the greatest financial risk, though, because it includes limitless personal liability. A general partnership is a business run by 2 or more individuals where all partners are responsible for the actions of one if made in the name of the business. Limited partnership, the power to make decisions is limited to specific individuals and is outlined in a business plan. And the C Corp and the S Corp, those are 2, well, let's go through it. C corporations are taxed separately from the owners. They are taxed on both corporate dividends and shareholder dividends. S corporation, as profits are passed through the IRS tax election, allowing the profit to go through the personal tax return, which prevents double taxation. I know I just said a whole lot right there, and that's why you need to hire an accountant.
Absolutely.
And an attorney.
And an attorney.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The most popular that we have learned working with small businesses over time is the LLC. LLC is a limited. Say that again.
I'm gonna get my LLC. That's how
You want-
people say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my LLC. Now I'm gonna get my. Now I'm gonna structure my business.
Almost structure.
I'm gonna get an
I need
LLC.
my. Oh my! How do I get my LLC? I don't know how many times I hear this.
Is that what you hear all the time, Omar?
All the time. All the time. My LLC. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's more structures than
it's
LLC.
way more structured. Exactly.
Yeah,
An
absolutely.
LLC is a limited liability corporation, similar to partnerships and sole proprietorship, but taxed like an S corporation. So those are the legal structures of the business. After you determine your legal structure, you determined your name, you determined your legal structure. Now you need to register your business. You need to register your business. It's a hobby until it's registered, guys.
There you go. Say that again.
It's a hobby until it's registered.
That's it.
Once you have your name, you've chosen your structure, you now register your business and obtain the appropriate licenses, permits, and identification. This will all depend on your state and your business.
Yes.
Your EIN is your employer identification number. Unless you are working alone, you will probably need an EIN from the IRS. It is free. You can go to the IRS website, irs.gov, and you want to go to apply for EIN. It literally takes less than 10 minutes and it is totally free to get your EIN or your tax ID number, as some people calls it. Your DBA, you're doing business as, is typically filed at the county's clerk's office when the company does not use the owner's name. Some states do not require this, so it is important to check, people. Business licenses and permits. Business licenses are issued on federal and state levels and vary with the business. Federal licenses is required for alcohol, agriculture, transportation, etc. It is also important to check with federal, state, and local guidelines to ensure that you have all licenses and permits needed. So please, guys, check to make sure that your business does or does not require a business permit, because what you don't want to do is get started, get popular, your name is out there, you're exposed, and then you're getting shut down because you are not in accordance with federal and local government, state government. Okay.
Absolutely. That's why it is so important. We say it's not a hobby until it's registered. And what we don't realize in business, or many people don't tell us, right? It's not that we're like just downing a business or a talent, but until you're registered, you're missing so many opportunities that you don't even know about because you're not registered. Right. And so registering your business can then open the doors to many other things, depending on the business, especially with government contracting or contracting with anybody else on that level of scaling your business, not just working with like your friends and family support. It is that next level so that you can be all the way legit.
Absolutely. Next, we'll talk about choosing your location. Now, this section really applies to brick and mortar. If you have an online business, that's a whole nother area that we are sure to discuss in a later webinar, but we wanted to focus this on pretty much if you have a brick and mortar location. The location of your business needs to be chosen carefully. Begin by determining if you're going to do an online or brick and mortar. Should you decide to do a brick and mortar, is the location limited by any zoning regulations such as agriculture or industry? If online, which e-commerce service will you use to build your store on? There is more than Shopify, although they are very good. There's more than just Shopify. Next, you want to weigh safety and cost. Choosing a safe location will help you draw customers, employees, because they will not feel fearful in your business. Other considerations regarding brick and mortar location, image. Choose an area that reflects your image. Is it edgy? Is it artsy, upscale, etc.? Competition. Choose an area where you complement your neighbors rather than increase competition. Why have three, what are they called? The shea butter let's go with T. Why have 3 tea companies in the same block? It's unnecessary. We don't need that. So be strategic in your location. And growth, consider the opportunity for growth in the near future. If that is your plan, you will need extra space. Okay. Hire an accountant. And my co-founder Omar spoke on it. In this should also be hire an attorney. Hire the 2 A's, an accountant and an attorney. You should have a trusted accountant from the beginning, because let me tell you what'll happen. You are gung-ho about your business. You are, and I mean, you've got people saying, I'm going to buy, as soon as you get the website up and we can start buying, just send me the link and I'm ready to go. And the sales are coming in and all other business stuff have to be taken care of. But what's not being taken care of? Your taxes. Now, I'm going to tell you, you got about a good 3 years before you're going to have a real problem on your hands. So you don't want to do that. You want to have a trusted accountant from the beginning, someone that is experienced with your type of business, has an expertise in the industry, services services offered where you work directly with the accountant. Do not hire anyone who does not offer the services that you need. And if you feel uncomfortable working with that person in that type of business relationship, don't go with someone simply because someone says, oh, I know so-and-so, and they're an accountant and they did my taxes once. You've got to show me a portfolio of what it is that you've done so that I'm comfortable giving you my most valuable information, which is my business income. So hire an accountant. Omar, did you want to speak on hiring an attorney and what they would use that for?
Oh, yeah. So the accountant is important for the number side, as well as the legal, the entity structure. And the attorney is good for setting up the legal structure. Emily talked about the location, if you're looking to have a lease done, contracts done, and just to protect yourself. You have these individuals on a retainer. You don't necessarily need to have them on staff, but have them on a retainer, but also engage them early on versus later in when you really need them to get you out of trouble.
Absolutely.
So definitely make sure you hire both of them.
There's a slogan that says "Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready."
Yes.
Right.
So heavily in having an accountant and an attorney. And people think I can't afford one, but like you said, you don't have to have them, right now paid for. You want to have someone in your phone that you can contact, what their rates are going to be. They may have, where you're paying a certain amount each month for when this type of thing happens. They may have set prices, but do your research. You can find someone with if you're starting with a small budget that will work with where you are. Okay. Create a business plan. A strong business plan is necessary for long-term growth and success. Planning requires gathering the appropriate information and outlining the plan before creating it with all the necessary elements. Creating a business plan may seem boring, but you should not neglect it. This is a plan that will guide your company and attract investors. I could say some other things. Okay. We have a blueprint at E&S Consulting and Management, and it is a live document that lives with you from the time that you start your business, that we work with you to continue to grow your business. A business plan is great. You absolutely need one, especially if you're looking for funding. And I will stop there. What should be included in your business plan? Your executive summary, which provides an overview of the company and includes information from other elements. It's typically written last because it's the introduction. So once you gather all the information, if you've written everything out, then you want to have something that will speak to your business simply for the people that you're presenting it to. Your market analysis provides information about the market that includes industry and pricing. Your company description provides information about the nature of the business and what factors will make it successful. Management and organization provides a view of the company's structure, leadership, and team. Sales and marketing provides information about the sales and marketing that will be used. Product and service explains the value, benefits, and the uniqueness of the product. And funding financials outlines the amount of money the company needs in different scenarios and creates a 5-year plan. Very, very important. So if we're speaking, I'm sorry, was somebody saying something?
No, you go.
So these are the elements of the business plan, all very, very important, should absolutely be done, you know, as you're building your business. I know a lot of people do their business plan after they've already been in their business, and then it's especially boring then. So definitely do that while you're building up to getting your business open and running.
And you know, sometimes it takes a moment, what I would say, of hobbying, or, you know, before you can really formulate that kind of plan. So if that's the case, that's fine. Sometimes we need a little, you know, get our feet wet, if you will, before we can actually see and map out some of those types of plans. So that's okay too.
It is.
You know,
what I would suggest is that once you have that EIN number and you've hired your accountant, you absolutely need to start building your business plan around that time.
Yes, because at that point you understand that you're making that commitment and you're going in. So make it legit. Yes.
Exactly. Let's do it all the way.
Yes.
Absolutely. And you know, the business plan, you know, I used to be a lender, and people only came to me with their business plan because I told them they had to do it, but only do it for them first, and then come to me. You know, you really need to understand what it means. You know, so out of that business plan comes an action plan, where you're not just, oh, I got the business plan now what? No, you have this business plan where it's going to take you to some actionable items.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So within your business plan, you also want to make sure that you have your vision statement, your mission statement, and your SWOT analysis. Your vision statement establishes the company's values and purpose. Your mission statement will explain the value, interests, and goals of the company, and includes the statement of purpose, the statement of strategy, of values, standards, and benefits. Your SWOT analysis outlines your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats that the business faces. And your financial documents includes all financial documents and projections that are related to a startup or a scale up. So like we were saying, you know, your business plan is something that you should be reevaluating. If you're trying to scale your business or you're trying to expand your business, your financials are going to change. They're not going to be what they were when you originally did the document. It is not supposed to be something that you put together and then you sit it on the shelf after you get the funding. It's something that you're supposed to continue to update. Yes. Okay. Number 4 in the 7 basics is getting financing. So financing sounds like a frightening word, but it doesn't have to be. Any valuable business startup needs to be financed, or scale up needs to be financed. And these days, there are many different options for financing. There are many resources for entrepreneurs who are starting to look for financing. Talking to people who have already taken the journey you're about to embark on is a great way to start. The next steps will be exploring all your options. So we'll look at some of those options here now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good options.
The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to make the right decisions on financing for your business. Mentors and informational websites. There are many organizations dedicated to helping businesses find funding. Contacting one or more of these organizations that we have listed here and discussing with people who understand what your needs are is a crucial step to providing some great information. So who we have here is the Small Business Administration, Business USA. Business USA offers a lot of information and resources for business to business. We have SCORE, who offers tons of information, mentoring, and resources. Other entrepreneurs who offer advice information, and some services. They also have magazine publications, one like entrepreneur.com off the top of my head. And of course, HBCU by association, which you'll learn a little bit more about shortly. There are tons. These are just a few that we wanted to list for you guys, but there are tons of other organizations that will help you with financing. What we've also learned is there are entrepreneurs out there now that specialize in getting you grants or writing the grant for you. They will do the research. They will let you know if this works for your business. So there are tons of resources, tons of ways to get funding.
And can I just add that the one that stands out to me the most in that section is entrepreneurs, right? And the reason I say that is because to be an entrepreneur, I'm not going to even say to be, if you are an entrepreneur, because it has to be in you. It's not for everybody. It's not for the weak, the faint at heart, or any of that. But to understand that there's a whole different mindset as an entrepreneur, the best to be fed and to really understand those things is from another entrepreneur. And until you are really, I can look now and see most of my adult friends are entrepreneurs, right?
True, isn't that true? Right.
Most of my adult friends that I've met in the last 15 years, 16 years are entrepreneurs. And that is because we have a different level of understanding of each other and how we have to plan for everything on a financial side, from a personal standpoint, and then to the business side. There's a different life, it's a different mindset, it's a whole different way of being. You almost can't even relate to, after a certain time, you can't even relate to people that work a 9 to 5, right? Because the way their lifestyle is set up is totally different. It's almost like you're speaking a whole nother language when you talk about retirement or even vacationing or, anything. It's just different.
Absolutely. I heard.
Yes, a little black play. I was like, wait, who's it?
Somebody's Facebook Live is going. Okay.
Yeah. So Facebook is going, and so if you have any questions, put them in the comment. People are dropping in what HBCU went to. So come on, y'all, keep dropping them in, and if you have any questions, just drop them in.
Absolutely. Decide on different types of financing. Now that you have your resources to get that will give you information about your financing, you have to decide on what type of financing you're looking for. It is imperative that you take the time to consider your options carefully, guys. Choosing the wrong type of financing could sink your company before it even gets a chance to float. Here are a few different types of financing options. Self-financing, that's fun. Self-financing means that you provide the funds needed to start the business. According to Entrepreneur Magazine, it is the #1 source of startup financing for small businesses. You can save up money or use pre-existing savings, borrow against your 401k, use the funds in your IRA, borrow against your life insurance, or take out a home equity loan. Grants. There are many different types of grants available. Some grants are state and regional grants. Some are based on minority, veteran status, and the type of business you're trying to start. While there are lots of competition for grants, they are a great option for you if you don't have to pay them back. That's what makes them great, because you do not have to pay grants back. Financing from friends and family members, not listed here, but absolutely friends and family members who have extra money and want to help to see your business vision come to life are a great resource for financing. The downside to using financing from family and friends is that you have to be very clear about when their investment can be returned to them. We all know why that is.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Financing from bank loans are a great option for financing, and this is where your business plan comes into play. Business loans are based on your credit, a solid business plan, experience, assets, and a personal guarantee that the loan will be paid back. If you're taking the bank route, be sure to contact different banks and get the best interest rate available to you. And financing from investors, which is huge now, and not just venture capitalists. There's crowdfunding. There's so many different ways to get investors. The three most common types are private equity, venture capital, and angel investing. Private equity investors are usually made by individuals or private-owned companies. Venture capital investors are also from private equity, but they tend to be more hands-on. They bring managerial or technical knowledge to help grow the business. And lastly, angel investing is a person who invests in businesses that do not get the attention of venture capitalists. These investors usually gain stock or equity in the company.
Let me add too. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me add a couple. Pitch competitions. So those individuals who are looking for money. So colleges and universities, private organizations, nonprofit organizations, they may have these pitch competitions where you have to basically make sure your business plan is tight, put together a presentation, and you can pitch. You know, you may win the money, but to me, the most important thing is to get that feedback from those experienced individuals.
Absolutely.
Judges.
Absolutely.
And then, Ebony, you mentioned family and friends. So that's crowdfunding and friend financing, if you will. You know, a site like Republic.co, you can put your business on there, and your friends and family and people from all over, they will help you market that to other individuals to help you get access to your capital.
Kiva is another one.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Kiva. Yeah.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kiva.org.
Yep. So you absolutely want to explore your options, and shopping for financing, guys, is free. You are dedicating your time and your efforts to ensure that you are getting the best options for you in your business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once you are approved, once you've finally gotten your startup funded, it's time for the hard work to begin. This is the time when you need to procure a place of business and the materials you need to run the business. This can range anywhere from buying paper clips to buying huge production machines. You will need to stay in constant contact with your accountant to make sure you are on budget.
Right.
Very important. It is best if you have a clear list of what is needed to maintain a budget. You will want to check. You want to say something, Phil?
No, yeah, and one of all of this should be in your plan as well already. So you should already know what the cost of your supplies is, and your whole budget for everything should already be there. If you're like, I'm gonna just use fitness, I should know every piece of material, equipment that I need, what it looks like, where to fit it in this amount of space, where I can fit it in that amount of space, all of that. At this point, you should be ready to go.
Absolutely. If you have received financing from investors, you will want to keep them in the loop about what the progress is. A monthly report, you want to have that, you want to have what it is that they expect from you prior to you moving forward. Also, check with your local government to acquire any needed permits and licenses. I know we spoke about that soon, a little bit back, but very important to make sure that you have that in place.
Yes.
Number 5, guys, we are almost at the end of our 7 basics. Human resources, hiring and training. You can't have a business without employees. You can, but you're going to be the employee. You're going to be the employee. And a lot of small businesses start that way, and that's okay. But if you want to grow your business, you cannot do everything yourself. So you want to have a team. They're the heart and soul of your business. So make sure you pick good employees. Every entrepreneur wants their company to be the best, so you should look for the best employees. Mary Kay Cosmetics founder Mary Kay Ash once said, "People are definitely a company's greatest asset. It doesn't make any difference whether the product is cars or cosmetics. A company is only as good as the people that keep it.
Absolutely.
How to get the best employee. You absolutely want to describe what it is that you need and that you want for your company, okay? Having a job description allows you to tell the employee exactly what is expected of them. A proper job description should outline where one person's job stops and another one's begin. A job description should include an explanation of the position, job functions, examples of job functions, the skills, abilities, experience, education, and knowledge that is required for the position. An explanation of the work environment, an explanation of any physical demands. The job description you write today will need to be reviewed and revised, because as you are growing, so should the job, okay? Absolutely. As your business grows, you may need to change those descriptions because of that. You want to advertise your business. There are so many different ways to advertise your business. We all know about Indeed. What is it? Jobs.com. There are so many college sites where you can post your job there, trade publications, referrals from other employees. You may be looking at someone to do an internship or a fellowship that can then turn into a full-time position. Great idea, I will say. So those are some of the different ways that you can advertise the position. And then interviewing candidates is a key step in obtaining optimal staff. Interviewing sounds like an easy task, but it is not. You want to start by outlining what you're looking for in a potential candidate. Think about what kind of person needs to be in that position. Is it a customer service job that requires a people person? Does the job require someone who's more analytical? Once you've decided, you can start writing down some of those interview questions. I strongly suggest completing this step. Conducting the interview without prepared questions is like having a meeting without an agenda. It's pointless.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Having prepared questions will help you stay focused and get the important information that you need from your applicant. Okay. Take good notes. You absolutely want to take good notes, because if you're interviewing 7 people in that one day and you think you're going to remember everything that someone said, you're setting yourself up for a failure. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
And also with that, I think you'll actually speak about it in this selection. Never be afraid to say no, right? You have to remember in this, you're protecting your brand, right? So just because your best friend sent her daughter and her daughter needs a job, and you feel obligated because one day that friend let you sleep on her couch or something, it's not going to work here. Because remember, your business, you are your business. And so never be afraid to protect that in this, right? Because when a customer, client, whomever sees your business or sees that person first, if they have a bad experience, their whole way that they feel about your company was now put in the hands of someone who maybe were having a bad day, or someone that you hired that you brought on just because you were doing a favor for someone else, right? Absolutely. This is your business. You have to protect it.
Absolutely. And check the references, guys. Interview might have been great. They may have blown your head off. They answered every question perfectly, but that could be because they've been on 20 interviews and they know how to answer the questions. But they've been on 20 interviews because they've been fired from 15 jobs, after being there for less than 2 weeks. So
absolutely,
check the references. Okay.
Absolutely.
Make sure that they are a good fit for you. They're coming on with a team. If they're coming on with a team, they're a good fit for your team. So you want to make sure that you check all of those boxes before selecting your candidate. We are going to jump through training employees really quickly. Just know that training is crucial. You cannot say this is the job and think because you wrote a good job description and they tell you they have experience from another company that they come in and know exactly what they're doing. And then when they don't, then you're upset. No, you have got to put together a training manual. You need to, they need to shadow someone that is in your company that knows what they're doing. You cannot expect for your brand new employee not to make mistakes, especially if you didn't set aside the time to show them how to do what it is that you need them to do properly. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to jump that pretty much and go through it often, train often, you know, don't make it, this is the one-time thing. As your company grows, so should your training and your employees. Everyone should be growing together. Absolutely. Marketing your business. Now that you have an excellent staff, you can spread the word about your business. Marketing is a necessity of any business because being invisible will not get you customers. Okay? Right.
Yes.
Got to put yourself out there, ladies and gentlemen. Traditional marketing, we all know, are television, print, and radio. Commercials are great. Print is great. Radio is great. But we all know where the world is leaning nowadays.
Social media.
It is not in an electronic format. You are missing out. You absolutely want to create a website. I am speaking for me right here, not for my co-founders, not for anyone else. When you create a website, please create a business email address. I really, this is a personal just for me. If I see that you have a business, you got this website, but your email address is the start of your business at gmail.com, I can't take it serious. I just can't. And I don't, if it's just me, say it's just me. I'm okay with that.
It's not just you.
Okay.
It's not just you.
Okay, so create your website, also create your business email address when you are doing that. And then of course there is social media, Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you have a business, you've got to have a LinkedIn account. 52% of the buying market have bought something off of Facebook. 52%, guys, 52% off of Facebook. We're not even talking about Instagram or Twitter or what's that other one? TikTok or Snapchat. So the buying power through social media is crucial. Okay. Networking groups, they are not extinct.
Not at all.
They are not extinct. You can access resources through networking groups, marketing assistants. You never know who you could meet out there by just posting something, asking a question. You never know who will reach out to you and say, I am in this field and I'm willing to assist. So absolutely, reach out or join some networking groups. Go to networking events, virtual and in person.
Absolutely.
You want to make sure that you are always showcasing your brand.
And you never know who you're going to meet. This was one of the first things, I think I'm just a natural networker, but even with starting the business, I remember a business coach, kind of reminded me of the importance of that. And then I structured I think homework one time was to structure my schedule out to where I had at least one networking event each week. Right. And so even if it wasn't solely related to fitness, and actually you do want to mix those up, maybe some related to exactly what you do, and then some that are not, but are just business oriented, because you never know who you can possibly partner with in the future, or who's working on something that needs you and what you bring to the table to participate. So it also gets your business out there. So definitely still something that's very valuable to your business and just to your brand overall.
Absolutely. And number 7, you guys, for the 7 basics to starting and scaling your business is run and grow your business.
Yes.
Running and growing your business is the fun part. This is where you take all the tools required to prepare for the operation of a successful business and put them into practice. Before you can sell the products or services your company offers, you must get out there and source the materials. Once you do, and the cash starts coming in, responsible money management and budgeting will be the proven point of making your company the best that it can be. Okay.
Absolutely.
So you want to sell. You want to manage your cash flow. You want to budget appropriately. You want to make sure that once you have reached the point where your business is at a stable place, don't get comfortable, because it's then that you want to grow your business. Okay.
Yes.
Once you've figured out what works and starting and running the business, the next step is to grow the business. Offer more products or services within the existing company is one way of expanding upon your business, but that's not the only way. You can also look into adding a second location or franchising opportunities. Don't limit yourself. Once you've started, keep going. Okay.
Dream big.
Dream big and act big. Act
Yes.
accordingly. Okay.
Yes.
Or
as my dad says, take it all the way. Take it all the way.
Source the big contracts. You can get them. Tell yourself you're going to get them. You're doing what you're supposed to do to get them and secure them. And so as we are wrapping up,
we do have a question on Facebook Live as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I took care of it. I got it. She's basically asking for free resources for, setting up your mission, vision. So for those who are tuned in, I just recommended, colleges and universities to have some great resources, as well as the small business development centers. So I put the link in the Facebook chat. And for those who are online, I'll give you the website. It's America's SBDC.org, America's SBDC.org. And
awesome.
then, Sid, if you want to take the other one, I think she's talking about the same thing. Is there you see it?
I'm looking now.
Is there a mindset shift from being an entrepreneur to a founder?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
And so when you when you start as an entrepreneur, it's like it's like crawling, right? You come in as an entrepreneur, you crawl, you figure things out. Along your way, you start to feel and this is kind of what separates you from everyone else, right? You go from the entrepreneur and you get into the business, but once you start to see what's missing, right, or what can be added to enhance what needs to happen to solve any goals or solve any problems within your within your field, within your lane, within your business, you do start to grow and understand that no, I'm a founder, like this, and we need to put this in place, and we need to do this way. You start to think on a broader scale, and you start to understand, to kind of tie in that piece, you understand that your dreams do become realities if you just implement what's in you and what you need to put out. So it is a level of growth in the mindset shift from, hobby to entrepreneur to founder. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is you going from the day to day to the overall.
Absolutely.
Making sure that the two are merging properly. So the development and the operations have to go hand in hand. Okay, words from the wise before we turn this over to our co-founder Omar. He will go over HBCU by association. Just a couple of quick words. Doubt can only be removed by action. A leader is who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Okay. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't.
Amen to that.
Okay.
That's a
Get
good one.
big quietly so you don't tip off potential competitors. All righty. That will wrap it up for the 7 basics of what this is today.
Let me start in the business.
There you
The
go.
7 basics of starting a business.
Thank you. Thank you. And so I'm going to turn this over to Omar, where he is going to give you guys a little information about HBCU by association, why we're here, and what we are looking to accomplish.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Anthony and Seal. Great presentation for that. And again, if you have any questions on Facebook, just drop it in the comments and we'll respond to them. So we really about, how do we work with HBCU alum? And, I've run across a lot of individuals who are alum. They have resources when they're at the university, but they don't utilize those resources. So we're going to help them utilize those resources after they graduate from the university. So here are some of the things that we are doing. We are all about the whole entrepreneur. There are many organizations that are just about the entrepreneur running their business. We go way beyond that. We want to focus on their personal economy. We want to focus on health and wellness, relationships, whether it be relationships with your family, relationships with other people, networking, as we mentioned in the presentation, and then lifelong learning. We have resources for all of that. So as you can see, here's our vision and our mission here, offering HBCU alum entrepreneurs a community and resources to help them find the best in them. And here's the problem that we're solving. It's interesting. The presentation that we went over really focused on a number of these. How do you find access, quality, and quality capacity building training? How do you find access to networks other than the ones that you have? Access to capital, reaching out to the legislators to say, hey, what if you think about this in our particular industry? And then it's getting access to media. I mean, right now, media is what we're doing here, social media, utilizing social media, but also using some of the traditional ones as well. And then here are some of the offerings that we'll have. We have the HBCU Alumni University. We'll have some complimentary products, and then we'll have some which you got to put some skin in the game. We believe that's as an entrepreneur, some complementary opportunities are good, as well as those that which you have skin in the game. We'll also have media platforms. So we have a number of podcasts that we have. We'll have an online magazine coming out. And of course, our website, as Ebony talked about as well. And then we'll do some other fun things to really see and explore our fellow alumni, HBCU alumni entrepreneur. And of course, we have merch. So
Yes.
if you like to buy some merch, we'll have some services for books, some other additional services, and books as well. And here's some institutions by states. These are the HBCU alum, HBCUs in the country. And we're focusing on you, the HBCU alumni entrepreneur. So you may be saying, well, Omar, Ebony, and still, I don't own the business. No problem. We still will have resources available for you. We also want to reach into the university to work with the students, as well as the residents around the university as well. So if we're empowering all of those individuals, we're really building up the HBCU. All right, here go our team. You already met us. We have some extended team members as well. So if you are a HBCU alumni president or a executive director of the HBCU center at the HBCU, we want to hear from you. So reach out to us. We also have those raving fans. excuse me, those individuals who really believe in HBCUs, who can take our message to HBCUs and the community to really help them understand their business. And then, of course, we want to get involved with the students as well. And here is how you can reach us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as on LinkedIn. I'm going to say something else, LinkedIn. And we're all, if you can just find us by HBCU by association. So one of the things I like working with my co-founders is, I see some people that can't squeeze this in. It's easy just to say. You can find us on all social media platforms by typing in HBCU by association. And we got a real email address. Now, I'm gonna be honest, we are working on our website, but we have real email address. So if you email us here, we will definitely get back to you.
And it doesn't say Gmail.
We'll reply back to you. It's going to say info@HBCU by association. Right? And we also have this link tree. So if you want to be a guest on our radio show, our podcast, you can just go to Linktree HBCU by association. And that's it that we have. We don't have anything else. We really appreciate you all coming on today. Really appreciate you. This is our first. Oh, that took away my thing. This is our first one that we've done. So we really appreciate you for coming on, and stay tuned.
Yes.
You can email us at info@HBCU by association. That's where we are, and that's where you can find us. So any final thoughts? Any final words?
Good luck on your journey. I hope you all are out there really take some of this information that I hope that it helps you really kind of lay out that master plan for yourself and see where it is that you need to go in, starting your journey with your business, or if you're in the journey somewhere. And I hope this gave you some ideas of maybe where you need to readjust or, restructure your business, or even just spend some time and give it the attention that it needs that maybe you haven't yet.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So with that said, continue, as I always say, continue to improve and progress. We'll see you next time. Now we don't have it ready. We'll do better when we have our podcast, but we'll see you next time on one of our HBCU by association events. So take care. Have a good night.
Absolutely.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Oh, okay.
All right,